I used to fit the mold really well. I was the good girl. I was the one who like could be everything for everybody all the time. And I would be. I'd sacrifice myself to do that, to be that, because that's what I believed that I needed to be. And now it's just like, fuck, I can't. I can't. I can't be that. I don't want to be that. And I've come out of a lot of it, as in let a lot of it go. But I can still feel, that inner pressure at times, right? My human, the character feels the inner pressure to perform, to have everything figured out. And the more I want to have it all figured out, the less I get it figured out. And when you are going through an awakening, which I think it's an ongoing thing, because you're awakening to who you are as source, as God, and you're awakening to the illusion of everything around you. And for me, it's like I just don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to live the illusion. I don't want to wear a mask. I don't want to be all things to all people. I have zero desire to have everything figured. I mean, my human character wants to figure things out, but the more I try to figure things out, the less I actually have figured out. It's quite the paradox. And I think we feel so much inner pressure and turmoil, right? So the truth is that when you start waking up, certain things just gets really uncomfortable. And the only reason is because you realize that it's all fake. It's all bullshit. It's all an illusion. Everything that is happening in our 3D experience is basically an illusion. It's a dream, right? And you're waking up to your own dream. And the dream is, as you're waking up, is you realizing that you're God, and your whole 3D is sort of your consciousness or your beliefs, all these different experiences that you're having is you being pushed out, right? So you're seeing it like it's a movie before you. And over time, the movie gets boring. Let's put it that way. That the movie that I'm watching, right, of my life is like I don't even know what to say. I just know that it's like I can't keep living and going on like this. And I don't mean that I want, things to end, so to speak. It's not that. It's I can't just get up and go to work and pay the bills. I can't just do all the I just can't do all the normal things that everybody else does. I don't want to. Like, everything in me is just in complete resistance, but I don't feel like it's a bad thing. I know it might seem like that, but it's in complete resistance to living according to the old conditioning, the old beliefs, the old ways. And because of that, because of the lack of desire or motivation to do all the things that I used to do. Like, I've been a workhorse my whole life. I've never worked so little than I have in the past year. And I'm sharing this because because it's really time to like take the masks off. It's time for, you know, the old way to fall away. And it's okay. There's no judgment here for anybody who is having or wanting a different experience. I'm just being open with mine because, I've been in this awakening process. I would say since about 2019. And in 2019, as a Christian, right, this is all pre-COVID, pre-lockdowns, I was already really questioning and just like looking at things in the Bible with deep sincerity. It's like, if Jesus could do these things, then why are we not really seeing that? And if Jesus needed to know what the Father, what God, what Source was doing, then how much more do we actually need that, right? Like to understand and to sit in that space. And that was the beginning of what I would call my great unraveling. and all of the things that I went through, was, I can see that because I'm Source, right? I created these experiences and these situations to begin to wake myself up, to begin to remember who I am as God, as Source. And my goodness, what a journey it's been. So this is January 1st, 2026. And it was I believe it was January of 2019 when I began to really want to create something different. And so I had started a small group of people who were also wanting more, and even just as Christians, right? And we started having these pretty amazing spiritual experiences with Jesus, with God, with the angels, and all of these things. And that was really incredible. And then, a year goes by and the lockdowns happened, and that was an opportunity for me. I was so burnt out. Like I was in chronic pain. I was stressed to the max. My previous husband and I at the time, like we sold our house, we moved into a basement suite, we started over, um, and I was so burnt out. I'm like, because I was in the social work field for so long, having worked with so many people with trauma, and then there was a bunch of stuff going on, in my personal life related to medical trauma. And so I had all this, like, will say it's undiagnosed, but I had tons of like PTSD and hypervigilance, and like to a level that I'd never had before. And so I came across, energy work, body talk, and that really began to open up my awareness to the filters that I had, to the beliefs that I had that were keeping myself, my body, my emotions, my mental well-being locked in. And then in addition to that, I started also looking at like, how does energy work fit in? How does that fit with the Bible? And so I was like really working with sort of addressing like the beliefs and trying to make everything fit into Christianity. And I could tell that it wasn't fitting. It wasn't going to, I mean, it was to some degree, but in the end, I knew that and I could see that the whole piece around Christianity, which I was a Christian for 34 years. I was a missionary, overseas for just under 10 years. And so I had all these amazing experiences, and I'm so grateful for them. And what I realized was that the voice of God, Holy Spirit, that I was hearing during all of that time really was Source. And that voice has not changed. It hasn't changed. It was still the same as I was kind of expanding beyond Christianity and what I felt would be acceptable within the church. And And so in 2022, I let go of my whole Christian community. That was extremely painful, but I knew that I I just could no longer stay where I felt like I no longer fit in. I couldn't sing songs that I didn't believe anymore. My beliefs about Jesus, about God, about all these things, were shifting and changing, and as a result, then I couldn't be true to myself. And this whole entire journey, even up till now in 2026, has all been about coming back to myself, journey back to you, journey back to me. That's why I started this online coaching group, was to support people in coming back to themselves, who they truly are, not just as the human character, but as source, right? As God, and understanding that there is no separation. And so that was the other thing that I was finding, within my Christian faith was, the beliefs, and even in the spiritual community, right? So after I left the church, I went into the spiritual community for a while, and there's still all of this, a lot of beliefs around separation, even though we'll say there's no separation. But I was just seeing so many, similar things just labeled differently, even within the spiritual community. And I love all my peeps. So this is not anything against anyone. This has just been my journey. And I knew when I had come sort of or extended outside of Christianity, and I was going into the spiritual community and having various experiences, and I was doing readings and all the things that I used to like believe were bad and wrong, I was being prompted and led to move into that space. And what I was telling you before, it's like the voice of God in that process of like doing readings and Akashic records and energy healing and all of this stuff, it was all the same, and it was extremely peaceful. And so anyway, as I was, coming from that place, I also, because had changed and shifted so much, and I still was burnt out and fatigued, and I'd had some massive healing and changes, though, like, don't get me wrong, but I still was in this process of years of needing to unwind, sort of years of fatigue and hypervigilance and just stress and these sort of traumatic experiences and vicarious living, right, through other people, hearing other people's trauma stories as well. And so anyway, in 2023, that was the beginning of the end of my marriage. It had come to completion, and I knew about 6 months before, but I had some things that I needed to work through, and we were trying to work through things, and my beliefs had just changed so much. And then I also was dealing with so much of sort of my own stuff in terms of fatigue and the trauma, and ongoing things that I could no longer remain within that container, the relationship. And so it was a mutual decision for us to complete our marriage. Our marriage came to completion in 2023, and since that time, I spent time sort of really unraveling and really sort of addressing, these aspects of of health and my mental well-being and my emotional well-being, and all of this time working and supporting people, but still living very much in that survival type of response. And during that time, I, also felt, immense relief. I felt a lot of guilt. I was waking up spiritually even more and more. And so it's been an interesting journey. And then this year in 2025, the whole year of 2025 was really about letting go of survival and really, really allowing myself to feel safe enough to let go. And that, was a bit of a process in itself, because there's so many beliefs and all the conditioning associated with that. And anyway, and so basically, that led me into, healing elements of my sexuality, feeling safe to be seen, not just sexuality in general, but just in like as a person, right? So, there's a lot of suppression, right? Even within, the old belief system that I had within Christianity. Certain things are not allowed. You can't do this. All of these kinds of things. And what I found, and having had, gone through sexual abuse as a child as well, and I've moved through a lot of stuff, done the forgiveness, done a lot of things, but there's still things locked within the body and the mind. So this whole year of 2025 has been a time of just really allowing myself to be safe to be seen, safe to be heard. Up until this past year, like, I didn't feel like I could even be the voice that I wanted to be with the new sort of shifting in my beliefs. I was still afraid of the judgment of other people and feeling insecure. And so this whole year, if you look at my video, I'm on video almost every day, and have been for quite some time, especially the last number of months. But this whole year has been about getting out of survival and allowing myself to feel safe, creating safety in my nervous system, safety for my human, but really understanding who I am as source, that I've always been protected. I've always been safe, even though I've had these experiences, and that's a whole other, video. But, in closing, here I am in 2026 now, January 1st, and I've moved, I changed provinces. I'm in a place where it's like nobody knows me. I don't have any work here. I have no business here specifically. I mean, I see people online, but even that, I've let go of a lot of stuff. Even the modalities that I had, readings and Akashic records, and a lot of the energy work that I did, although all of it was valid and valuable, and it still is to some degree, except that the more I realize who I am, the more I realize that I'm not broken and I don't need to be fixed, is the more I realize that I don't need to help people to fix themselves. They don't need me to fix them. That was a belief that I had, and that, there's conditioning associated with that, even within our society, that we're broken and things like this. It is all a whole load of horse shit, honestly. You're not broken. There is nothing wrong with you. You are absolutely perfect. And that really is the truth. That is the truth. And so this is part of the awakening, because the human is always looking for shit to fix. It's always looking for validation, attention. Tell me I'm okay. Tell me what's wrong with me. And it's like, this is why, like, it's when I was talking earlier, it's like, I just can't do that anymore. Like, I can't do it. I can't. And it's like, what can I do? What can I do? I can support other people, which really are versions of myself, to wake up to themselves, to wake up to their own perfectness, their own sense of who they truly are as source. And so I'm not sure what is going to happen. I'm really allowing myself, even though it's uncomfortable. Today, I'm talking about the discomfort that I feel in not having all my shit figured out. I'm 48 years old, and it's really okay, because the truth is that nobody does. Nobody does. You never do. You never feel like you have enough money. You never feel like you can do this. You never feel like whatever. That's the human character speaking. And it's just a load of horse shit, honestly. The truth is you get to be who you really want to be. And the truth is that you are I am. So you are everything already. You are not broken. There is nothing wrong with you. The real, authentic you as source has never experienced addictions, trauma, heartache, pain. Yes, is I am experiencing through this body? Yeah. But again, it's like it's a dream. It's a movie. It's a movie, and if we don't like the movie, we can change the movie. We don't have to stay in that movie. And so healing, so much about healing is all about that you're broken, and you're not broken. You're not broken. There's nothing to fix. You're perfect. And so it's like I can't do what I did before because it doesn't match the framework of who I am and why I'm here anymore. And that's a whole other conversation. Was going through an awakening. All of a sudden I lost my mission, my reason for living, for being. Not that I didn't want to be here, but I didn't want to be here. It was just like, this is just too hard. I don't know what to do with myself. I've been on a mission my whole entire life, and in 2022, that was the beginning of me really sort of feeling like, wow, I have no religion. I have no religion. I have no mission anymore. I have, in the 2023, my marriage came to completion. I have nobody that I'm spending my life with, and all of these things. And then it's like, man, I'll tell you, it is not for the faint of heart, and yet at the same time, I highly recommend awakening. But just understand that you don't have to do it alone. I certainly didn't. But the work, the inner work, is only something that you can do. Only you can do it. And yeah, so much more I want to share and say, but I will stop it here. We're at 22 minutes. Thank you so much. If you've made it to the end, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. I appreciate all of you. I'm sending you so much love. And yeah, I think I'm going to start a vlog, and I'm just going to talk like this. I'm going to share my journey of manifestation, my journey of living as I am, all of that. So today you get the crying, tearful mess, and it's fine. It's all good, because this is not a mask. I'm not putting anything on. I'm showing you a real part of me. It's not all of me, but it is a part of me. And I've been on this journey now for 5, 6 years. 6 years. And it's okay. It's okay. Wherever you are on your journey, you're right where you need to be. Much love to you. And if you need some help, feel free to reach out. Okay? Bye for now.